Well, hello friends. Welcome back to the program. Today we are going to continue working on Pixel Paint because we are on a roll here, having fun with Pixel Paint features. So today I'd like to do a new crop mode. So we currently have crop image to selection, which allows you to select some part of the image and then crop the image. And today I'd like to implement crop to content. So basically something that just cuts out the pixels of the image that don't have anything on them, leaving you only with the content. So here, for example, with this image, it would cut out everything in a perfect rectangle around this noise that I sprayed out. Although I guess it's a bit weird that we start out with a white background image rather than starting out with a transparent image, because crop to content, how would it know that white is background in this case? So that seems a bit weird. So I think the first thing we're going to do is something I've been meaning to do for a long time anyway, which is to make the image start out transparent when you start up Pixel Paint. So if we're opening a file, otherwise create default image, which does a fill with white. Yeah, so we're just gonna start with a transparent fill instead. And I think that'll make sense. If you want white, you can easily just fill with white. But if you are like me, then you probably actually prefer starting with a transparent background image. Yeah, so here we go. Transparent. Now, if we were to do this, crop to content would be able to sort of locate the boundaries, the perfect rectangle around the content. So I guess let's try to do that. So how do we do this? I think basically in order to find the rectangle, we have to inspect all layers and all pixels in all layers, and then see sort of where is the leftmost, topmost, rightmost, and bottommost pixel. Yeah, so let's figure out how to do that. So first, let me just commit this. Make the initial, or make the default image, default empty image transparent by default. It was previously white by default, but let's change that. Sure. Okay, so what kind of API do we have for crop? Image crop just takes a rect, sure. So I guess we could make some kind of a crop to content thing, and maybe we could be fancy actually and even have an API that tells you what's sort of the non-content color. So background color or whatever. Color transparent, yeah. Let's see, does this make sense? Let's say that makes sense for now. Okay. So where do we have crop? Crop to content. Okay, so we need to locate the bounding box of all of our layers. Okay, so let's do that first. What is the bounding box? I guess we'll have something like, well, maybe we should make an API for this, something like interact content bounding box. Okay, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself with this like color, like specifying a color thing. So let's go ahead and do that first without anything fancy. Okay, so an interact content bounding box. All right, and I think if we have no layers, oh, maybe it should be, if you have no content in the image, then we can return an empty rect. So we could do something like this, right? So if m layers is empty, return empty optional. Otherwise, let's see, where do we start? I guess the first one will always become the initial bounding thingy. So we go through all the layers, and then if first, then bounding box is going to be layer bounding box, content bounding box. Okay, and then we say first false, continue. Otherwise, the bounding box has to be, oh, we have some API for this. I forget what it's called. United, I think. United. This is when you take two rects and the outermost points become the bounds of the new rectangle. So it can only, like, uniting two rects gives you a rectangle that covers both. That's what we want, yeah. So we want to say bounding box dot u is bounding box united with this layer bounding box. Okay, and then return bounding box. Okay, I think that makes sense. And then layer needs a content bounding box thing. Just checking that it doesn't already have. Also, maybe we should call it bounding rect instead of bounding box. Yeah, let's call it that. Okay, so layer gets a, I don't know, let's put it here. Whatever, content bounding rect. Should we call it non-empty content bounding rect, maybe even? Non-empty content bounding rect. Just to, yeah, that seems like, let's be extra explicit about what this is. Okay. And then bounding rect is non-empty content bounding rect. If bounding rect is empty, then yeah, this is kind of a no-op in that case. If we have no layers, we can't really crop it to anything. But the layer non-empty, this doesn't have to return optional. It can return and interact every time because a layer always has some kind of size. Yeah. Okay, so has value is what I was looking for. All right. And then if we do have it, I guess it's as simple as just doing a crop of the bounding rect at that point. Yeah. That seems sound. All right, so how do we implement this thing now? Interact, layer, non-empty content bounding rect. Also, the rects that we get from each layer, they're going to be in that layer's own coordinate space. So we got to make sure that we translate it back to image coordinates. So we'll just have to do something like translated by layer location. Yeah, something like that. Okay. All right. So what do we have in layer? We have a bitmap of some type, right? We have content bitmap. Cool. And then we have a cached display bitmap, which I don't even remember what that is. Cached display bitmap. Tobias worked on this relating to masking. Okay, okay. Well, I think we can ignore the cached bitmap here and just look directly at the content bitmap. So let's just do this in a naive way. So we want to find the leftmost, topmost, rightmost, and bottommost non-transparent pixels. So pixels with a non-zero alpha value. So that will just be, I guess, well, if the whole thing is transparent, does that mean that we return a, if the whole thing is transparent, I guess then we should do this, right? Yeah, because just because the layer has size doesn't mean that it has content. All right, all right, all right. So it gets a little bit more complicated, actually. Bounding rect equals, sure. So we can do that. Oh, this is kind of a goofy way of doing that. Let's see. Layer rect. Layer content rect is, if layer content rect is has value is false, and then we don't need the first. Okay, let's rethink this. So here, continue if there's no value. Otherwise, if bounding rect has no value, then we just assign it. But if it translated by the layer location. Okay, I'm going to do this for maximum clarity here. So layer content rect in layer coordinates, and layer content rect in image coordinates. Translated by layer location. All right. Otherwise united with layer content rect in image coordinates. All right, verbose but unambiguous. Okay. And then back to the layer. So let's see. I guess we will just have to store topmost content or min content y, something like that. Okay. All right, and then and then max content x minus min content x to get the width and the height. Max content y minus min content y. All right. So can we finally loop over this thing? So let's see. Okay, this is definitely not going to be the most efficient way that one could possibly do this, but it's going to be a way. And we are just going to go across here. So color at this pixel is going to be content bitmap get pixel at xy. Then if color alpha is 0, continue. Otherwise, if min content x has value, does not have value, yeah, I'm going to write this in kind of a crappy way here, and I'm sure that we can do it much nicer, but here we go. Yeah, I'm turning off my brain for this, and we are just going to kind of brute force it a little bit. Okay, and then dook dook dook. Oh no, not like that. Okay, how did that go? Let's find out how that went. Okay, so we draw some pixels with the spray can, and then I don't have UI. I forgot to add UI. All right. Crop image to selection. So crop image to content. And I guess here we can just say crop to content. And then yeah, let's just see how that goes. I feel like I probably made some dumb mistake here, but let's see how it fares. Crop image to content. Nothing happened. Ooh. Yeah, should have seen that coming. All right, crop to content. What went wrong? debug line, bounding rect. If we have one, then it is bounding rect value. Otherwise, the bounding rect, no bounding rect. Is that what happened? I feel like that's probably what happened, but all right, so wait, there's no message? Crop image to content? Nothing comes out? Oh, because there's no selection. Oh, duh. Yeah, right. This thing doesn't care if there's a selection. Yeah. I just left that in without thinking. Yeah, it doesn't matter if there's a selection. Obviously, when you're cropping to content, you get what you get. So, what is the spray? Shift S. All right, here we go. Crop to content. Ooh, it works. That's pretty sweet. All right, so the general idea was good. I like it. Very cool. Okay, so absolutely, it can be done more efficiently. But I think as a feature, I'm happy with that. So we're just gonna go ahead and take this as the first version, I think. Let's see, crop to content. I guess we could outsource this logic to the action so that like this doesn't have to be a function on image, because that is kind of weird. The factoring is a little bit goofed, so we can just do that here instead. Like editor image, something like that. And then editor image crop to bounding rect. Although then we will say content bounding rect. Yeah, I think that'll be quite neato. Okay. All right. Pixel paint. Okay, la. And let's draw something down here too. La. And wouldn't you know it, something over here too. And that's so simple yet so delightful. Don't you just love programming? I love programming. It's so cool. Look at that. Wait, are we getting this right? Oh, wait. I think we're cutting it here. Because look at this, 1 empty, 1, 2 empty. Okay, so we're off by 1. Wow, that's not good. And here, Okay, yeah, so that part is good. But on the right, we are off by 1. So let's make sure that we fix that. So the non-empty content bounding rect for the layers. Let's see. So I guess I must be messing up the let's see, I must be messing up the width and the height calculations, right? So max content X minus min content X. I mean, I guess I need to +1 here. I just, coordinate math is just not my favorite thing in the world. So let's just live with that. Although I'm gonna do a simple dummy test here. If I just do that and then crop to content. Yeah, seems all right. Okay, and what if I, we go back here and then we draw something like 1 pixel, line of pixels like that. 3 pixels tall. Oh my goodness, where did the image go? Wait, is that up here? Oh, here it is. Okay, well, we definitely need to work on recentering. But yeah, we got our 3 pixels. Okay. Oh yeah, I can click this to reset the zoom. That's a thing. Okay, that's very good. Yeah, I think that's cool. Okay. So, oh, I already started on a commit message here. Let's just abort that. Pixel paint, add crop to content, crop image to content feature. This command finds the smallest non-empty content bounding rect by looking for the outermost non-transparent pixels, the image, and then crops the image to that rect. It's implemented in a pretty naive way, but it's a start. All right. So I like this kind of stuff where you do a feature and the initial implementation is functional but naive, and then that sort of leaves room for future improvements, and it's just nice to build things that way, you know? All right, I'm just gonna try it one more time because it is kind of fun. So let's make a circle, I was gonna say, but then my hand slipped a little bit. All right, look at that. That's so cool. Very cool. All right. Yes, I think that's going to be it for today's video. So simple little feature, crop image to content, but I am happy with it. So if you made it this far, then thank you so much for watching, for hanging out. I hope you saw something interesting, and I'm certainly having a lot of fun just improving Pixel Paint and adding features that I'm used to using in other image editors. This is sort of the path towards dog fooding for me, I guess. So a lot of fun. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye.